Welcome to class. Today's lesson is on self-directed learning theory. You will learn how to define self-directed learning theory and describe it as applied in the online setting and in the traditional setting. Here are your lesson objectives. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to define self-directed learning theory and describe how self-directed learning can be used in the online classroom and the traditional classroom. We have studied communication theories in topic 1. During this lesson, we are focused on self-directed learning theory. You will learn about self-directed learning theory and its best practices in higher education. This lesson will implement a lecture followed by student collaboration discussing self-directed learning theory. Finally, you will give a summary of what you have learned in this lesson regarding self-directed learning theory. The first part of this lecture is to give you an overview of the principles of self-directed learning and best practices in higher education. Moreover, I will discuss through a lecture how you apply the 3 goals of self-directed learning theory. These goals will enhance your understanding of being self-determined and have a transformational approach to your learning. Finally, the lecture will give you insight into how Carl Rogers and other psychological influencers influenced this theory. To promote this theory, you will work in small groups and discuss the theory together after the lecture, and foster the practical side of self-directed learning theory. You may now discuss. Okay, you have now discussed self-directed learning theory in small groups. Now, I want each student to respond to each of these questions. Student number 1, in your own words, how do you define self-directed learning theory? Okay. And what are the best practices are used in higher education to promote self-directed learning theory? Awesome. Great answer. So, students, we have discussed self-directed learning theory. Now, I want you to write a summary of 5 to 10 sentences of what you have learned regarding the lesson objectives. Be sure to discuss the main concept of self-directed learning theory. Alright, you may begin. Students, I have met your learning needs through collaboration by having you be put in small groups according to your learning style. This has helped you further understand the concepts of self-directed learning theory with the implication of Bloom's application. Working together has given you the ability to practically apply self-directed learning theory through a solid definition of the theory. Okay. We are at the end of the lesson. Before class ends, I want you to find a partner and discuss your summary for 5 minutes regarding self-directed learning theory. Go ahead, find a partner. Alright. Each of you will read your summary if time permits. So, do any of you have any questions about today's lesson? Alright, awesome. Thank you for attending this class.